The galaxy glittered with the crystalline dominion of the Chirac, a race of sentient gemstone beings whose bodies refracted light into blinding spectra. Born from the cores of dying stars, the Chirac had conquered a dozen systems, their empire a lattice of floating citadels that harvested stellar energy to fuel their endless expansion. To them, organic life was a flaw, a chaotic anomaly to be purged. Humanity, with its messy emotions and frail flesh, was a particular thorn. When the Chirac turned their faceted eyes toward Earth, their intent was clear: assimilate or shatter. But they underestimated the human spirit, a force as unpredictable as a supernova. Captain Alara Singh, a geologist-turned-commander from Jaipur, with a mind for patterns and a heart of steel, led the Stellar Forge, a mining rig converted into a makeshift warship. Her crew was a mosaic of survivors: Dr. Mateo Alvarez, a Chilean crystallographer who'd studied Chirac fragments; Priya Kapoor, an Indian pilot with nerves of ice; and Jonas Eriksson, a Swedish storyteller whose tales inspired hope. The Chirac fleet, a constellation of jagged citadels, loomed near the asteroid belt, their harmonic resonance shaking the Stellar Forge's hull. "Captain," Mateo said, his voice tight as he analyzed the Chirac probe's data, "their citadels are powered by a central prism. Break it, and they destabilize. But their resonance field deflects our weapons." Alara's eyes narrowed, catching the light like a prism herself. "Then we find a crack. Priya, get us closer. Let's study their rhythm." The twist came when Jonas, scanning old transmissions, uncovered a Chirac hymn, a harmonic chant used to align their prisms. "They sing to focus," he said. "If we disrupt that, we might throw them off balance." The Chirac launched their siege, crystalline shards raining down like meteors, each explosion a symphony of shattering glass. The Stellar Forge dodged, Priya weaving through the barrage with a dancer's grace. Alara ordered a risky maneuver, deploying mining drones to harvest Chirac debris mid-battle. The drones returned with fragments, and Mateo's analysis revealed a flaw. The prisms were brittle under rapid temperature shifts. "We can crack them," he said, "but we need a heat source." The next surprise hit when a Chirac emissary, a towering figure of sapphire and emerald, materialized on the bridge, its voice a chime: "Surrender your chaos, or be refracted into our lattice." Alara, undaunted, countered with a question: "Why destroy us when you could learn from us?" The emissary paused, its facets flickering, but the overmind overrode it, shattering the hologram. The fleet intensified, a prism beam grazing the Stellar Forge, melting a hull panel. Alara rallied her crew. "We use their own song against them. Jonas, adapt that hymn, make it ours." Jonas worked with Priya, blending the Chirac chant with a Swedish folk tune, its mournful melody laced with human defiance. The crew broadcast it, the sound wave clashing with the Chirac resonance. The citadels wavered, their prisms misaligning, but the overmind countered with a psychic pulse, forcing the humans to relive their fears. Alara saw her village burn, Mateo his lost family. "Sing through it," Alara commanded, her voice breaking as she joined the hymn, her pain fueling the notes. The crew followed, their harmonies growing stronger, the psychic pulse fracturing under the emotional weight. The Chirac fleet faltered, a citadel's prism cracking as the temperature shift from the Stellar Forge's exhaust destabilized it. Debris floated, a sign of weakness. The final twist came from Earth. Astronomers, monitoring the battle, redirected a solar flare using orbital mirrors, aiming it at the fleet. The heat wave hit, shattering two citadels' prisms, their harmonic collapse triggering a chain reaction. The Chirac overmind's voice boomed: "Your disorder defies us." The Stellar Forge escaped the blast zone, but the siege wasn't over. Half the fleet remained, and the overmind adapted, shielding its prisms with a new alloy. Alara grinned, her resolve unshaken. "They think we're fragile. Let's show them what breaks last." The crew prepped for the next move, the galaxy watching as humanity turned a crystalline threat into a mirror of their own strength. The Chirac fleet, battered but unyielding, regrouped beyond Jupiter's orbit, their crystalline citadels shimmering with a new alloy that deflected the solar flare's heat. The Stellar Forge limped through the asteroid belt, its hull scorched, but its crew's spirit ablaze. The Chirac overmined, a vast consciousness refracting through every prism, broadcast a chilling harmonic. Your chaos delays the inevitable. We will refine your essence into order. Captain Alara Singh, her face etched with determination, knew the battle had shifted. Humanity's initial victory had bought time, but the Chirac were adapting, their prisms now shielded against thermal shock. Alara stood on the Stellar Forge's bridge, the hum of repaired drones filling the air. Her crew, Dr. Mateo Alvarez, analyzing Chirac fragments, Priya Kapoor recalibrating the navigation grid, and Jonas Eriksson, refining their adapted him, worked with a feverish unity. Mateo, Alara said, her voice steady. That new alloy, any weaknesses? Mateo adjusted his glasses, his fingers tracing a shard's facets. It's resilient, but it conducts vibration. If we can resonate at the right frequency, we might shatter it from within. The twist came when a Chirac defector, a fractured emerald entity named Kyra, emerged from a damaged probe, its voice a soft chime. I dissent. Your songs disrupt our harmony. Help me free my kind. Kyra revealed the Overmind's weakness, a central resonance chamber that synced all prisms, located deep within the flagship citadel. Alara saw a chance. We infiltrate, disrupt their sync, and turn their strength against them. Priya plot a course, silent run. The Stellar Forge cloaked its engines with asteroid dust, slipping toward the flagship under Kyra's guidance. The crew donned suits lined with Chirac debris, mimicking their refractive properties to evade detection. Inside, the citadel was a maze of mirrored corridors, its walls pulsing with harmonic energy. Kyra led them, its fractured form flickering, but the Overmind sensed the intrusion, sending crystalline sentinels to intercept. The first clash erupted when a sentinel's laser whip sliced through a corridor, narrowly missing Jonas. Alara countered, using a mining drill to vibrate the floor, the resonance staggering the sentinel. Keep moving, she shouted, the team dodging shards as they descended toward the chamber. The twist deepened when Kyra confessed. The chamber required a sacrifice. Its guardian would attune to the strongest emotional resonance, demanding a life to unlock it. Alara's resolve hardened. I'll do it. Get the hymn ready. The chamber loomed, a cavern of prisms converging on a central orb, its hum deafening. The guardian, a towering sapphire figure, locked onto Alara, its psychic probe flooding her with memories. Her first dig, her family's laughter, their loss in a quake. She fought the despair, singing the adapted hymn, her voice raw with grief and hope. The crew joined, Jonas leading with a Swedish lament, Priya adding a rhythmic hum, Mateo's scientific precision shaping the notes. The guardian faltered, its form cracking as Alara's emotion overwhelmed its attunement. But the Overmind struck back, amplifying the chamber's resonance to crush the intruders. The walls closed in, prisms glowing red. Kyra sacrificed itself, merging with the orb to destabilize the sync, its chime fading. For freedom. The explosion rocked the citadel, shards flying, but the hymn held, its vibration rippling through the alloy shields. Two citadels fractured, their prisms shattering in a cascade of light, the fleet's harmony breaking. The Stellar Forge escaped, Priya piloting through the debris storm with a grin. The Overmind's voice weakened. Your disorder persists. Alara, shaken but unbroken, looked at her crew. We've cracked their shell. Now, let's shatter their core. The galaxy watched, the Chirac's crystalline rain trembling, as humanity's defiance echoed through the void. The Chirac fleet, its harmony fractured, but its resolve unbroken, rallied around a colossal citadel in the Kuiper Belt, the Overmind's new stronghold. The Stellar Forge emerged from the debris storm, its hull a patchwork of scars, its crew hardened by the loss of Kyra, but fueled by a burning defiance. The Chirac Overmind's voice reverberated through space, a harmonic wail. Your chaos ends here. We will crystallize your essence into eternal order. Captain Alara Singh, her spirit a prism of determination, knew this was the final stand. Humanity's emotional resilience would either shatter the Chirac or be refracted into their lattice forever. Alara stood on the bridge, her face etched with resolve, surrounded by Dr. Mateo Alvarez, calibrating a vibrational emitter, Priya Kapoor, plotting an audacious approach, and Jonas Eriksson, his voice hoarse but steady, refining the hymn. The Citadel's prisms pulsed with a new intensity, shielded by an adaptive alloy that absorbed previous tactics. Mateo, Ilara said, her tone urgent, "Can we overload their resonance?" Mateo nodded, his eyes alight with a wild idea. "If we amplify our hymn with the emitter, we could create a feedback loop. But we need to get inside, close enough to target the Overmind's core." The twist came when a Chirac fragment, recovered from Kyra's sacrifice, began to glow, emitting a faint harmonic that Mateo identified as a distress call from dissenters within the fleet. A rogue faction, inspired by Kyra, sought to break free, offering a covert entry if humanity could prove their intent. Ilara seized the opportunity. "We'll sing our way in. Jonas, lead the hymn, make it a beacon." The crew broadcast the adapted hymn, blending Swedish melancholy with Indian raga, its emotional depth resonating through the void. The rogue Chirac responded, opening a breach in the Citadel's defenses. Priya piloted the stellar forge through, dodging prism barrages, her face a mask of focus as the ship entered the inner sanctum, a cathedral of refracting light where the Overmind's core loomed, a massive prism throbbing with psychic energy. Inside, the air thrummed with hostility. Chirac sentinels, their facets gleaming, closed in, their laser whips slashing. Ilara led the charge, using a mining drone to vibrate the floor, disorienting the guards. Mateo set up the emitter, but the Overmind countered, projecting a psychic storm that forced the crew to relive their darkest moments. Ilara's childhood fear of collapse, Priya's crash survival, Jonas's lost love. "Sing through it." Ilara roared, her voice breaking as she channeled her pain into the hymn. The crew joined, their harmonies rising, the emitter amplifying the sound into a vibrational wave. The rogue Chirac, their facets flickering in support, added their own chimes, creating a discordant symphony. The Overmind's core vibrated, cracks forming, but it retaliated with a harmonic blast, shattering the emitter. Mateo dove to repair it, his hands bleeding as he rewired the device with a shard from Kyra, its glow merging with the hymn. The next twist came from Earth. Astronomers, inspired by the crew's broadcasts, synchronized global vibrations, earthquakes, ocean waves, human chants, into a resonant pulse uplinked to the stellar forge. The combined wave hit the core, its psychic storm faltering, as the Overmind struggled to process the chaos. Priya risked a kamikaze run, ramming a decoy drone into a sentinel line, clearing a path. Jonas's voice soared, Ilara's leadership steadied the rhythm, and Mateo triggered the emitter at full power. The core shattered, a cascade of light and sound erupting as the Overmind's lattice collapsed. The Citadel disintegrated, its prisms raining down, the fleet's harmony breaking into individual voices, relief, wonder, surrender. The rogue Chirac allied with humanity, their descent spreading across the empire. The stellar forge survived the blast, drifting amid the wreckage, its crew exhausted but victorious. The galaxy marveled as the Chirac's crystalline rain crumbled, replaced by a new order where emotion and resilience reigned. Ilara, her voice a whisper, looked at her crew. "We turned their shards into our strength," she said. The story of the stellar forge's valor spread, a legend of humanity's unbreakable spirit against the stars.